Well, thank you all for coming. Dr. Lee doesn't require much of an introduction. She is one of the leading politicians in the world, and she is the only politician ever, I think, to concurrently be elected to serve both at the district council level, LegCo level, and at EXCO. Thank you. And but of course, key member of our standing committee of our National People's Congress, Dr. Starry Lee. Thank you. So, our Chatham House rule applies, and so you could refer to what you've asked, but don't report on what you've heard. But you can, do your own takeaway. Thank you, Excellencies, Consul Generals, ambassadors, chamber leaders, friends from the professional business and media community and finance industry, and Commissioner, thank you for coming. So let's get started. So we have until 6:30. We'll do a bit of chit-chat, and then we'll open the floor for questions. So please reserve your questions, and let's go into a happy, free-flowing discussion.
Yeah, thank you, Nick, for your invitation, and thanks for coming to this sharing section.
Thank you, Starry. Can I call you Starry? Is that okay?
Yes, please.
Great. Starry, could you tell us about what is the 2 sessions? I'm sure most of you know, but just in case.
Yeah, okay. Well, I understand that, over the past 2 weeks maybe, or even before, right, these 2 sections cover most of the media section. Yes. 2 sections, of course, refer to the annual meeting of the China National People's Congress, that is the NPC. NPC is the highest authority in our country. And also the Chinese People Political Consultative Conference, CPPCC, where key national policy and legislative matters are discussed. Well, maybe I can also ask some questions, right? We all was there, right?
Yes.
How many days of this year meeting?
Well, for members of the NPC, we started on the 4th and we finished on the 11th.
Yeah.
But for members of the CPPCC, they started on the 3rd and ended 1 day earlier.
I can still remember, when I was first joined the CPPCC, it was 2 weeks, right? Now it was shortened and more effective, and of course, with shorter period of meeting time, we are able to achieve, a lot of things. We have completed 7 agenda. Yeah.
But under our constitutional order, when we talk about putting people first and people-centric democracy, 2 sessions is where members representing the people hold our national congress. What about the standing committee? How is that different from the NPC?
Well, standing committee, of course, if I have
it's only 200.
Have to make people easier to understand, I will use this example, right? Just like AGM, I know all of you are from business background, right? NPC meeting is like AGM meeting every year, right?
Right.
If we're running a listed company, we have to have AGM every year. Even though you live in a buildings in Hong Kong, we have the AGM, right? That is a meeting to invite all members. But of course, in China, you can think about such a vast country with so many people.
1.4 billion, right?
Yeah, we cannot invite every citizen to join. Therefore, we have deputies from different provinces, right? We have around 3,000 deputies to join every year. That is the most important political meeting held in Beijing. Therefore, most of the important agenda have to be dealt with in this meeting. When this section closed, right? Therefore, we have to have an executive committee to pass law, to scrutinize and discuss important things. Therefore, we have standing committee form. Every 2 months, we have standing committee meeting. Therefore, that now I will let people know every 2 months, like
even
number month, I will be in Beijing to attend the standing committee meeting. Well, the function of a standing committee meeting, I would say, most of our time spent in scrutinizing bills, and also different report will be presented by, like for example, State Council and maybe included High Court as well. so that we can give opinion. Yeah.
So this year you mentioned we have 7 agenda items, but in some years you have more agenda items, such as electing the president.
Yeah.
Is that a big responsibility to be electing the president?
One of the features or one of the important function of MPC, right? Because we are regarded as the highest authority in our country, right? Therefore, all the leaders, including President Xi, we both cast our vote, right? He got full vote, right? And apart from President Xi, actually, all the important leaders in our country are selected by MPC, meeting every 5 years, I would say. And then therefore, the first year, for every section, then the meeting will be longer because we have the election agenda. Afterward, like this is the 3rd year of the 14th section, right? Therefore, we have only 7 days.
So you talked about unanimously approving the president.
Yeah.
Now, to some of the naysayers, does it mean you're rubber stamping? How is it possible that everybody elect one person?
Well, I don't think we are rubber stamping. Well, like every standing committee, I have to cast like over 10 votes or even some up to 20 votes. Every time I'm being reminded, you have to vote, but you have the right to choose. You can vote for certain law, you can vote against it. You can also abstain from that voting, but you should vote. You should not, just sit there and do not press any button. That is not allowed. They are very strict in that. We all remember, right?
Yes.
When we attend meeting, every time before the section, right, we are reminded, please cast your vote.
Yes,
therefore,
no,
you are
abstain.
free to choose. Basically, all the report presented to the 2 sections, they are pre-discussed before. And this is the biggest consensus we have. But as deputies, Nick and I and other members can propose amendment.
Yes.
Yes, propose amendment. And some of the amendment will be adopted and included in the approved report. We can, share this experience. A lot of people do not know. The approved report are the amended report after discussion by like over nearly 3,000 deputies. That is a lot of deputies from different provinces will raise amendment and raise suggestion. Because, in our country, if you can include some of the wording in the report, then they will have the a policy to crystallize that policy. Therefore, it is very important that we have some kind of a suggestion to be included in the report. They are very serious in scrutinizing the report and the bill. That is the way we work.
So that is the previous report you have?
Yeah, this is the previous report. I have the English version as well.
I remember there were days where, the one time where they passed the 14th five-year plan a few years ago, and we were there in Beijing, and we were calling home to Hong Kong about, what if we change center to hub, HUB? So it's more like a regional place, center of attention, focus, than just one place. So that's a lot of good things you are doing for Hong Kong. Can I also ask, do you feel that female are being properly represented or minorities are being represented in the Standing Committee of the National People's Congress?
I think from this perspective, our country do very much emphasize on the proper proportion for the minority, and also they make sure that Hong Kong and Macau do have one representative in the Standing Committee. Think about that. Hong Kong, only such a small city. We only have not up to 8 million population. I always share this story, right? If you compare to a city in China, in our country, with similar size and with similar population, they may not have a Standing Committee member. But for Hong Kong and Macau, up to now, we must have one Standing Committee member. That is the way that they respect and make sure that we have our representative in the Standing Committee. I am the Hong Kong Standing Committee member, and Macau we have Mr. Ko. He is the president of the AALCO, and he is the Standing Committee member. Every 2 months we go together to Beijing. And I actually go with Headmaster Wong, right?
Yes.
He is the basic law committee's
Yes.
representative, right?
Subcommittee of the
Yeah,
NPC.
subcommittee of the NPC.
Well, today's theme is insights and opportunities from the two sessions. So what insights would you share? What is a theme? Is there a core theme for this year's two sessions?
I think the core theme of this year to me is to, again, based on what we have passed in the last important meeting, deepening the reform, enhancing innovation, and fostering the country economic development and modernization. But of course, in particular, we put a lot of attention on the technological advancement and economic stability. This is the common theme for this year. But I think if you look at the work report, I think worth looking at that. Every year, our Premier will review what we have achieved in the past year, and then we have set the coming year target, and also we have put forward how we achieve that, put forward the strategy. We have 10 strategies, right?
Yes. Here we have friends from the Digital Policy Office, from the Intellectual Property Department, and some other departments. What would you share with them about maybe reliance or support, focus in digital marketplace?
Well, I think one of the key initiatives...
Which is now 10%, right, of our GDP.
Yeah. I think digital marketing. I think one of the important initiative that how can we achieve the future growth is to boosting further internal consumption, right? How to make people spend more. I think further rely on the digital economy is one of the key policy for that. I think we are going to have some legislation on the innovation and data protection, and also regarding the digitalization.
Now, there are 36 deputies, right, from Hong Kong to the National People's Congress. This time we have 35 going. One couldn't go for health reasons, and we wish her well. How many suggestions, proposals did we put together? Do you have statistics on that?
We have 229 suggestions put forward by the deputies. I think, how many you have put through?
Oh, about a dozen.
Yeah, me too. I have like 15 for myself. 2 of our suggestions are endorsed by our Hong Kong deputies. One are proposed by Nick. One is proposed by me. Maybe you can introduce yours.
I would like to mention, thank firstly the government of Hong Kong SR for being supportive. We put together a suggestion to build a carbon credit trading center in Hong Kong. Our friends who are in the finance industry will appreciate we do already have, since 2022, a carbon credit trading platform. But we want to build a whole ecosystem. And if you look at how big the market is worldwide, and I think we're looking at over $680 billion globally, and how we could share that, contribute to that, and more importantly, build a cleaner, greener world and reduce climate change effects. So we have green tech, we have a super financial center in Hong Kong, we have a lot of manufacturing capability. With friends along the Betterment Road. Commissioner of our Betterment Road, Nicholas Ho, is here. He can talk to that later, maybe. And so if you work with our friends, Ambassador Mongono from South Africa and friends, if we build more factories, some countries doing nearshoring, or China Plus One, all these things we're doing, we could, with help from professionals like President of the Law Society, Roden here, if we all work together, we could build a new industry, which is a proper carbon credit trading, and not some jurisdictions are using carbon credit as a means of, imposing, I think, trade barriers, like a carbon tariff. But is it really fair? Can we utilize Hong Kong's super capability as a super connector? I think a lot of opportunities we can do and work on together. So that is one of the proposal jointly submitted by the entire deputies from Hong Kong. What about you, Starry?
Oh, my suggestion is to, work according with the 20th CPC Central Committee's third Pantry section. We all know that one of the positions that, given by our central government to Hong Kong is we have to attract talent from international community, right? We have to attract, high quality talent. Then how to make all these high quality talent to stay in Hong Kong? Government do put forward a lot of schemes to attract talent. Over 100,000 people choose to stay in Hong Kong. Some do share with us that they want to buy home here, but because of the, foreign exchange control, they cannot have a proper channel to remit money to buy home or even pay the down payment. Therefore, one of our suggestions that is endorsed by the Enter group is to establish a capital pool that enable mainland and Hong Kong residents to make cross-border property purchase. Yeah, of course, we all understand that that is a very sensitive issue. We have to protect our country's, capital safety. Therefore, how to do that? We make reference to the current, financial system. We have a system that allow people in Hong Kong and also in our country to buy stock, to buy debentures in two places, right? That is a pool operate in a closed environment. Right, we make use of that financial setup, special purpose capital pool. For example, if you are a talent from our country, you want to purchase a house in Hong Kong, then you have to open a specific account in a specific bank, and then with that capital inject to that bank account, and then you can use this to pay down payment. But of course, in order to have further protection, then maybe you have to do registration in the land registry. If you decide finally to leave Hong Kong or to sell your home, then the capital or the down payment that you bought from mainland will be remitted back to our country. That is the initial design. But of course, it still need to be, verified by a central government because we all know that this is one of the relatively sensitive issue, right? But of course, it is not only one way. We also allow Hong Kong talent, if they choose to live in Greater Bay Area or if they choose to live in Beijing or Shanghai, they can also use this channel to purchase properties in our country. That is two-way. Again, two-way.
The theme this year is stability, advancing through stability, right?
Yeah.
And what else? I mean, what about personally? What are you focused on as you participate in 2 sessions? Maybe what are the 2-3 things that come to mind about what you really want to do?
First, we have to appreciate what we have achieved last year, right? Given the very, very difficult situation, right? Because of the geopolitical tension, right? We are able to achieve 5% GDP growth, right? Apart from GDP growth, we also have other, key indicator, right? We have a basic equilibrium and balance of payment. We have a general stable employment and price level. We create 12.56 million urban jobs. And we make the consumer price index stable at 0.2%. All these are achieved with collective effort from our government and also from the whole community. I think if I have to remember a special moment, I would say that is the last September meeting when our government, when the central government decided to adopt a more, active monetary policy or fiscal policy. That is to increase liquidity in the capital market. Then immediately after that decision, I can see response from the stock market, response from the economy. Right? You can ask the business people, right? They will tell you how difficult the last year was, especially for the first half year, right? Not until that important meeting held in September, and then we have increased the money supply and also a relatively strong fiscal policy. Then seems things change and the confidence level do come up quickly. And then this year they continue this active policy. and more, debt will be issued. That is to help to ease the debt problem in the district level.
Some more national bond.
Yeah, some more national bond. Some more national bond.
So GDP today is what, 4 times that of India, and 5% is the size of Switzerland's GDP. Is it sustainable that we have 5% every year?
Next year, our target will be again 5%, but well, maybe you will think that 5% seems not a very big amount, but when you look at the absolute amount, I think we have to count, right? Up to this year, our GDP rose to 134.9 trillion yen. That is a really, huge amount. And we actually contribute to 30% to global economic growth. If you multiply that 135 trillion yen by 5%, then we have to come to another 6 million yen.
That was 30% of the world's economic growth.
That is not easy task.
In the government report, people love to look at the word heat map. So in the government work report, you see some terms that keep cropping up. What are the 2 terms that keep cropping up?
Well, I think technology, innovation, and also education, technology, and manpower. All these things keep coming up because that is the key strategy, that how we achieve a Chinese way of modernization, and also how we achieve the future growth in next year.
I think this year there was a phrase that talks about as you advance innovation, you have to collaborate with growth of different sectors. This year there seems to be a focus to link not just doing things separately. You have technological innovative growth, but then you also want to do that in combination with actual society, industry growth, economic growth. What signal is that sending?
I think a very clear signal that we have to have a better collaboration between 3 different important areas: education, innovation, and also manpower. I think that is one of the key strategies. Of course, the second important thing is we have to rely on new quality productivity, right? That is about innovation, about technology. We all know that President Xi to visit Jiangsu provinces.
Yes.
And he also mentioned that that is the key to apply, high quality or new quality productivity in different area according to your specific situation.
Do you think DeepSeek is one example of new quality productive forces?
I've heard that a company like DeepSeek, over 3,000 or 5,000 similar companies in China, we're expecting more and more DeepSeek phenomenon. That is one of the things told by some of the people who know China. That is, we have to have confidence to our country, especially to the technological development.
This year, at the 2 sessions, both open door, closed door sessions, I hear a surprising amount of English words being uttered, being spoken. 2 English words. What are those 2 English words? DeepSeek.
DeepSeek and also the
Laza, yeah. Usually just hear 100% 普通话, all of a sudden English word pops up.
Yeah.
What is your view on the proposed $1 trillion sort of aircraft carrier, mammoth level national venture capital fund targeting AI, quantum technology, hydrogen energy, new energy, cutting edge fields? What do you think of that?
Well, I think even though we face very difficult or limited fiscal situation, fiscal constraint. We have our fiscal constraint. But in terms of injection to this critical industry, I think we all see the commitment from the very top. That is, we will put enough resources to develop all these critical industries, such as the AI, such as the quantum technology. And for Hong Kong, I shared yesterday in the media section, I think Hong Kong's hotel area and also the North Metropolis can also be quickened and help to contribute to the new quality productivity.
I read somewhere, I think that the standing committee would put legislating AI law as part of the agenda item. To the extent you could talk about it publicly, what do you expect the law to include?
I think we also discussed that in the Hong Kong deputies section, right? A lot of people do care what will be the expected direction. On the one hand, we know that AI will change the world, AI will change the way we work, change the way we live. We have to embrace AI. But on the other hand, we have to ask, right? Ethics, data privacy, security issues. Then I think the law may deal with that type of issue. Ethics, because nowadays we talk about ethics when using AI, data privacy, whether or not you as owners of certain things can choose to opt out from the DeepSeek database, right? Or not. I think all this will be discussed for that particular law section.
So more options for right owner to decide what they want to do.
It's not easy to balance, right? If every owners decide to opt out, then the whole database will be the purpose will be distorted, right? Because with such big database, we want to facilitate all the research and development. But if we allow all this opt out, then it may create another side effect. But we have to strike a balance. I think everyone is investigating that.
Do you feel an AI law at the national level or local level, or amendment of the corporate ordinance locally, would that be supportive in advancing technological growth, or would it be seen as policing? Is that policing, or is that?
I would expect it will be sort of, encouraging. But of course, we as a legislator for, several years, we all understand that everything is balanced, right? If you look at it from the economic development, if you look at it from the positive side, then we should expecting some policy initiative to boost the development of AI. But if you look at it from the owner's perspective, then people may think about then even though with the AI period, our rights should be protected, right? Therefore, I think every piece of law is the kind of balancing. I think we are facing these challenges.
If we were to look at the 225 10 major tasks, how could we learn in Hong Kong in terms of how we contribute, integrate with national development strategy?
I think very clear. I think the Hong Kong government is working on that. This work report, again, is based on the decision made in the 20th CPC Central Committee Third Pantry section. That is the most important meeting held last year, I think, or the year before. Then Hong Kong is positioned and asked to strengthen our financial centers role, and also the commercial center, and also trade centers, and also the
logistics, shipping.
Shipping center role. I think that is one thing that we need to, work according to that decision. And on top of that, we have to help our country to develop new quality productivity. That is to develop our, innovation and technology center. That part, I think, is the hotel area and also the North Metropolis. That is the key role for that two places, right? Therefore, we're talking about how to quicken the foundation, the infrastructure in these two places, so that we can catch up with the new requirement in this new period, right? If for example, look at the Kai Tak. Yesterday, I was in Kai Tak in the new sports stadium. But think about that, now Kai Tak is very vibrant. We all talk about Kai Tak, but it is, it takes over 20 years, right? The old airport had moved over 20 years, and it takes so long in Hong Kong to build such a places. We cannot afford another 20 years to build the North Metropolis, right? If you can think about that, after 20 years, who can tell what will be the, actual world look like, right? We can't imagine how AI will change our world, right? Therefore, if we keep the current paces, it is quite worrying. Therefore, we have to again, quicken the development of Hotel and also Northern Metropolis. But this is joined together. That is, we have to make Hong Kong as one of the, technology hub and creativity center to help our country and Hong Kong to build the high new quality productivity.
Can I ask, you talk about three important areas mentioned in the third plenary session. Does it mean Hong Kong would no longer do the other five?
No, I think what I interpret is the three are the most important economic contributor. Look at the GDP contribution. They are still the major and key contributor to our GDP. We have to strengthen that because we see, especially at that time, there are some weakening signs. But I can see that now we are picking up. Like, for example, the financial center.
Yep.
At that time, the transaction a bit low. And we're talking about how to, have more, transaction and more measures to introduce more company to come to list in Hong Kong, etc. We have to, the competition is key, and therefore we have to have initiative to strengthen that. But apart from these three centers, we still have 5 other centers.
Yes.
We have to work on that as well. But if I have to interpret, that 3 are the major economic contributor that we have to strengthen that.
The coming year is a critical year as we wrap up the 14th 5-year plan, or realizing the 14th 5-year plan. What do you expect to be included in the 15th 5-year plan?
That is a new development plan. I would expect it will also work according to the decision making in the 20th CPC Central Committee's third pantry section. Still technology focus, still creativity focus, still about the regional coordination, regional cooperation, and also for our country, how to, better, develop the rural area.
Is China's growth a positive thing for the world, or is it?
Well, of course, to me, it is a positive thing because we all know that. And we all know that, right? Growth is so important because without economic growth, we cannot achieve, people, cannot have better life. How people have better life over the past 20 or 30 years when we look back, because we grow significantly. Then people benefit. We have, bigger and bigger middle class. We have a lot of technology advancement, something like that, yeah.
So you're here at the new home of AALCO, Asian African Legal Consultative Organization's new home.
This is very nice home, yeah?
Thank you. Thank you. So we have friends from different parts of the world here. What would you share with them? What is the takeaway for friends from different parts of the world, different countries? What opportunities do you see from your meetings at the 2 sessions?
First of all, I have full confidence towards the future development of our country. Why? Because when we look at the history, right, we can achieve a historical growth over the past 30 years or so, right?
Over 40 years.
We have that history. And when we look at the decision made in the third pantry section, they lay out already a very clear role and way to move towards Chinese modernization. But of course, I would say nowadays, because of the geopolitical tension, it may not be that easy to achieve what we want. We face a lot of challenges, some of the technology obstacles, some of the tariff, all these things. But I think in general, I have full confidence towards our ruling party because we have the system advantages. We have such a big market. Think about that. If you're not investing in our country, where should you invest, right? I would say investing in our country is one of the best investment because we have a big market, we have a past history that you can follow to see the growth, and we have a strong leading party. We have strategy, right? Unlike other countries, we have we make up our strategy based on scientific research. All these, I think, are the advantages, and it gives us and give me full confidence of the future development.
And as a global productivity bases are being reshaped, do you see a lot of collaboration with our friends from different parts of the world?
I would say, you know, our leaders, President Xi, do want to make friends with a lot of people as much as we can. I can see now we have adopted a very active diplomatic strategy, right? One Belt, One Road, ASEAN country, and also the Southern country, including your
China,
this
Africa,
organization,
yes.
right? This is one way that we can make friends. I believe that we will have more friends. But of course, as I've mentioned, the geopolitical tension is still there. And we know that competition is keen within powers, right? US, European country still competing with each other. And, you know, I would say kind of, you know, have a lot of challenge. But I have confidence because I can see the past record, and I have confidence towards our ruling party as well.
Is Hong Kong becoming just another mainland city?
I don't think so, because we have one country, two system, right? We never be able to become one of the other cities like Shenzhen and Guangzhou in our country. We are operating under different system. Sometimes we will be very angry about our government, sometimes because of the way that we handle, right, as compared to most of the cities in our country, right? Therefore, we're very different. But we have to appreciate the advantages of one country, two system, right? We are more open, we are more internationalized as compared to other cities in our country. I think we're different. Definitely, we will not. And, you know, President Xi and also the decision in the third plenum section do emphasize that one country, two system are the best system for Hong Kong, Macau, and also for our country. And as long as we can fulfill and have our, you know, contribution to our country's development, and Hong Kong and Macau continue to prosper, people continue under one country, two system, live better, I think this system will continue.
Yes, and we hear a lot of, you know, shining the pearl of the Orient. Hong Kong will shine again. The government report urges Hong Kong to deepen international exchanges. What do you make of it?
Well, I think this is a very strong message. If you look at the way it put forward in the work report, they said deepening international exchange first, and then you also have to have a closer connection with the different city in China. This is two things that you have to both work well. That is one thing. That is you have to have deeper international exchange, and also you also have to have a close relationship with our country. And I think Hong Kong, you know, we have our history. We have a lot of good foundation for international exchange, right? Not only economic aspect for me, because people will easily fall into think about economic aspect of international exchange. That is very good. We need more. I hope that here people can bring more you know, business, company, technology, people to come to Hong Kong, right? Please use your own network to introduce talents who are willing to stay in Hong Kong to develop. We have a lot of talent scheme. Also, if you have some company who want to raise fund, Hong Kong is a good capital market that you can use, you can make use of, right? If you compare it to other cities in this region, I still believe, because I'm an accountant by profession, I really believe that Hong Kong is one of the best capital market in this area, right? You can introduce a company to list in Hong Kong, to raise funds, to issue debentures, bonds. Therefore, I think apart from economic aspect, we have other aspect of exchange that we have to deepen, right? For example, politically, we can have, like for example, legislative council, we can do more exchange. Apart from political organization, we have a lot of cultural exchange, sport exchange, education, technology. I think every aspect we can have international exchange. I have full confidence towards Hong Kong society. Because you know that Hong Kong people like travel. If you do survey, you know that Hong Kong is one of the cities in the world that people travel most, right? As compared to other cities, right? Even in stay, you ask people in stay seldom go out, right?
That's
but
true.
in Hong Kong, people like to travel. Therefore, I think we can build up on this foundation, build up on that tradition. We can work more with international society. But I suggest the government to have an overall strategy.
The local government.
The Hong Kong government, to have an overall strategy for how to deepening international exchange, and then invite commercial sector to join, invite different stakeholders in the community to join. Right? Of course, your organization will be one of the key stakeholders.
Thank you. So not asking for investment advice, so it's properly disclaimed. Has the property market bottomed out in mainland China?
One of the key messages that for this year's 2 section, they want to stabilize property and stock market. And we know that active fiscal policy will be adopted. People believe that. It's not an open section. Don't quote me. People believe that some money will go to property market and some money will go to stock market. I also believe so.
And Hong Kong, just a few years ago, the fundraising capability amount raised is 200 times Singapore. Do you think we will go back to that level or higher?
I understand that we have over 100 companies lining up to do IPO in Hong Kong. Well, honestly, 100 companies is not a big amount because we all used to do IPO, right? I also engaged in the IPO market for a long time. At my time, I know that we have over nearly 300 companies waiting. But anyway, I know this period, that 100 companies still is really lining up. I talked to my colleague. They said that really IPO now is a hot topic. Therefore, I'm confident that more and more companies will come to list it in Hong Kong.
Presidency went to the Jiangsu delegation. They didn't come to a Hong Kong delegation. Does it mean something?
I have investigated this issue. I know that presidency are the member of Jiangsu delegation.
So he's just going to his own delegation.
And you have to understand that the economy of our country, we have to, from figures, honestly, that area, that Shanghai, Jiangsu, Zhejiang area are the biggest contributor.
The number 3, right?
The biggest economic contributor of our country. Therefore, when presidency talk about economic policy, last year he chose to go to Jiangsu. This year he chose to go to Jiangsu again. It means something, I think. Maybe one day Hong Kong or our area will be the biggest economic contributor. Then our president may come too.
But I understand the president himself is also, just like us, you are assigned as you're a national Congress member, but also you are from
I belong to the Hong Kong delegation. And I know presidency belong to Jiangsu delegation. Therefore, the first delegation he visit usually is the Jiangsu delegation, and usually during that delegation his speech will talk about future economic development, how to boost that economic recovery, or how to what is his strategy towards the future economy, right?
What message do you have for the people of Hong Kong? Question 2, more specifically for the younger generation.
I think a very clear message. The relationship of Hong Kong and our country are, very close, right? In terms of economic, development, right? I believe our country economy will grow again, and with that background, I have full confidence towards Hong Kong's economy as well. We can look at all these figures, right? Hong Kong's economy is now regarded as the fiercest economy in the world. We got back that day, and also our IPO market, we ran 3rd in the world.
To the young people,
my advice is, again, you have to what our country want Hong Kong to do. If every young people can be a super connector, that is, you understand not only Hong Kong, but you understand what are the policy initiatives of our country. And also, on the other hand, you can communicate well with the international city. You, again, can be the super connector. Then I would say you will benefit from being a super connector yourself.
Thank you, Starry. Questions from the floor?
First of all, thank you, Lick. Thank you, Dr. Lee, for your very insightful sharing. Well, it's basically a very, very meaningful time for the Law Society of Hong Kong because we are doing our annual visit to Beijing later this month. So I think you mentioned about the core theme. It's about the innovation, digital marketplace. So one question that I don't want to ask about your sharing is about specifically about the newly set up National Data Administration that we will very likely going to visit them. I think our country talk about the data transfer. Basically, is one of the responsibility of this National Data Administration is to coordinating and promoting the construction of data, and also about the data infrastructure, the coordinating, the integration, sharing, development, and the utilizations of the data resources. So, as you can see from the movie, for example, Raja. So it's all about this data. We are talking about deep sea, about all these data resources. Well, from the legal standpoint, we see that there's a lot of professional legal service behind the scene that we probably, as the Hong Kong lawyer, can actually how to make good use of our knowledge and expertise in contributing back to the country. Is there anything that during the two sessions you specifically talk about this part of this data resources, data sharing, protection, those kinds of things? I just want to know about this insight. Thank you.
I think for these two sections, there is no particular section to talk about that data issue because we have only 7 days. We have to discuss 7 agenda. But I think that will be one of the important topics for the coming or the future standing committee because I believe that there will be a legislation regarding the data issue. Some of our suggestions that we made by some of the deputy, we are suggesting that we use hotel area as a testing places, that is to allow data in our country to be used in hotel area because we all know that in future data is the one of the most valuable assets.
A new gold.
Yeah, a new gold, right? Therefore, we are advocating that. But of course, from the legal perspective, you have a lot of maybe data privacy or the other consideration. I think that all these details will only be discussed in the standing committee, but not this section.
But the views of Hong Kong professionals are very well regarded. Please propose what you...
Yeah, if I have that draft legislation on hand, maybe later I can, seek for your advice. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Someone, Albert?
I was a city banker, but I retired and now focus mostly on education. But reading through what I heard today, which is excellent, and I like to say that, yes, those AI, tech, and health science are very important in China and Hong Kong, but to the ordinary citizen, they are all waiting for some sparkles. Like today, confidence is still lacking in Hong Kong, maybe in China too. Real estate market is stabilizing but not good. In Hong Kong, every time you sell a real estate, you lose money. Bankers are not willing to extend loans to support the industry. I haven't seen anything in the newspaper. I'm a bit more convinced today hearing from you and Starry, but how can we boost up the confidence? Confidence is still lacking in both Hong Kong, real estate, tourism, and so on. And all those things that we talk about more like for 2, 3, 4 years, but people want to do something quicker, like 1 to 2 years. Anything you can share to boost up our confidence even further? Thank you.
Thank you. It's not easy, I know. I would say because this is a challenging environment. Especially stock market. It can move suddenly in one way, and then with one deal coming up like DeepSeek, you can move differently. You're talking about the property market in Hong Kong. I know that we need some good news, but for me, I think the policy that gives me confidence is that you can refer to the work report, English version, that is the 13 and 14 page. I think because very clear, as I've mentioned, after that September meeting, the central government, decide to adopt a proactive fiscal policy, then the whole market change significantly. Again, this year, they write it clearly in the work report. You know, in China, when they write it in the report, they will do it, and they will have the follow-up policy on that, right? It said, first of all, they set the deficit to GDP ratio for this year at around 4%, as compared to last year, it is 3%. Then where all this money growth, the increase of 1% point, I understand it will, some of the money, or most money, will go to the banking sector. Then you understand what banking sector will do, right? They will loan that money, and then try to increase the liquidity in the market, and then supposedly with more liquidity, the demand will grow. That is one thing. And then this year, again, we have 4.4 trillion yen of local government special purpose bond will be issued, an increase of 500 billion yen over last year. We will expect that the liquidity will increase gradually and proactively this year. Based on the economic theory, with the liquidity coming in, then supposedly it will go to the consumption market, also it will go to the stock market. Therefore, it hopes to boost the confidence in this way, I would say. But of course, if you want to have some, immediate measure that can help to boost the property price in both Hong Kong and China, I think it will be quite difficult, honestly. And especially with the Trump administration, like, for example, they will suddenly announce the increase in tariff, right? All this will make the whole market, volatile and shock. But to me, I think he purposely make that. He will not let you have a stable performance in the stock market. This is how he performed. This is my view.
Thank you. Gentleman over there.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Eddie Tam. I'm a fund manager in Hong Kong. Appreciate your sharing very much. And I'm very heartened to hear that there's, this slight opening of, possibly, slight opening of the capital account. I think Nick knows my views very well. Just 2 points. One is, I understand the markets are very volatile, and U.S. is. I just came back from Washington last night. Actually, I'm a bit jet lagged. I do understand, the geopolitical tension, but I think the main problem with the Hong Kong and also mainland capital markets is the fact that it's not the short term; it's the long term. So I'm quite afraid when I hear people saying, "Oh, don't look at the short term, please look at the long term." It's exactly the problem, because Chinese GDP has grown by over 20 times in the last 25 years. But the capital markets have done almost nothing. So it's totally misaligned with the economic development. So that tells you something about the lack of efficiency in the capital markets. So you can see that also in the decrease in the ROE and also in the total factors productivity of the country. So this is a very long-term problem. 25 years. The markets have done almost nothing. So I think I'm very encouraged by the current mission to stabilize the market and to encourage long-term growth. But I think you have to stick to this commitment for a very long time, not just a few months. I think the average bull market in Chinese history is like 9 months. So that's simply not acceptable, not good enough. So that's the first point. Second point is similar to the opening of the capital account. I think it's very important in this age of data and AI to gradually and safely to open the internet for China, especially in AI, because we have a firewall in mainland China. So that means normal people cannot legally go outside. VPN, etc. I think even the 2 cards in your phone legally is not legal, actually. I understand that for AI learning, a special permit can be given to, say, Alibaba or maybe DeepSeek to go outside. That makes the problem even worse, because I'm afraid that the West and other countries, because they seek symmetry, they may build reverse firewall to prevent Chinese web crawlers to go and learn from their data, because it's very fair, right? So Chinese people cannot go outside because they can be a customer to, let's say, Facebook or Google, but we don't allow that, right? So the only internet traffic that goes outside are basically robots, web crawlers that learn from the other, systems and from the outside. So this is highly dangerous and risky. So I think given that we have 12 million graduates every year, we should have the self-confidence to gradually open up the internet. And I see some noise around that area. I hope the NPC will take that up in the near future because this is going to be a critical issue.
So maybe I can take that up. So I think, thank you, Eddie. All the more that means in the meantime, Hong Kong's a great place to do TDM for Gen AI development. And I think President Tong's mentioned earlier, you could talk to Wendy, who's in the room from the DPO, from the Digital Policy Office. I have a feeling there will be some more export of data from mainland China to Hong Kong, particularly, especially in Hartou, and we could explore a bit more. Thank you for that comment. Any other comments? Gentleman at the back.
Thank you very much, because I think these sessions actually bring a lot of transparency and demystify what sometimes people might not understand, let's put it this way. In those lines, we've, as a foreigner who is a permanent resident, we got a card that now allows us access to mainland China much more easily.
You to thank her, I think she did it.
Thank you very much.
That suggestion last year.
Now we have visa-free access for a lot of countries, actually. And for instance, the high-speed train to Shenzhen makes it so smooth to actually go there. For me to come to Macau, the bridge. What other goodies are we having, or can we potentially have in the short term, in the long term?
I'm looking forward for your suggestion because I know that they have some important policy initiative. First is the visa-free access. I think that is quite true. People from other part of the world come to China is easier than people in China who come to Hong Kong, right? Because we still have to apply for the visa. But in other part of the world, if you choose to come to our country, you don't really need to have some visa, right? Second thing is I know that because we have a very, sophisticated apps, but now they have a user-friendly card, right? From every major airport that is setting up for the purpose of facilitating the foreign visitor to join in our system.
Thank you. Next question. Edmund Yu from the Hong Kong General Chamber.
Hong Kong Chamber of Commerce. Great sharing sessions on different things coming out from the NPC, the two sessions. Of course, we have Hong Kong is a legal framework, legal platform is very strong in the world. In the two sessions, is there anything on how to tap into our Hong Kong legal infrastructure to better, because everything has to be in a legal sense, and many things that is still legal driven. Are we and the two laws in China and Hong Kong is quite different as well. And that's one question. Is there any directives from the two sessions that will use more of our legal framework? Second question is on the sports and culture. As I'm the Ski Association chairman, and we had a very successful
for skiing. Yes, NSA for
right. And the person, as you said, the talent pool, if it can be exchanged, it'd be great for interchanging in terms of sports, tourism, and commerce. Is that a just talk on the two sessions coming up, or there's actually policies coming up in that regards?
It used to be that if two companies in China sign a contract, you must use mainland China law, even if you're Hong Kong owned subsidiary. But now that has changed. It's changed for some time, particularly in Shanghai. You could use Hong Kong law as the governing law. But ever more so, the recent announcement that meant that the geographical area has gone wider. So if your entity in mainland China has a Hong Kong element, you could use Hong Kong law and you could do arbitration in Hong Kong. But of course, you can already do that if you do international deals, and it's a very popular choice, number 3 in the world. And if you arbitrate in Hong Kong, for example, with AALCO, with a number of arbitrators here, if you give us a notice of arbitration, you could immediately go to mainland Chinese courts to freeze evidence and freeze assets against the Chinese party. And you would say, well, why would China do that? I think it's part of an assurance, part of a positive step to help the world feel not only is it true, but also feel truly that China is open for business, welcoming international investments. Maybe the second question about...
my observation is nowadays we welcome exchange, and well, everything should be facilitated. If there's anything that come up that you need further facilitation, we can help, I think.
Any other questions from our friends from other parts of the world? I think you had a question, you had your hand up.
Thank you for all your good sharing. My name is Simon, and I'm the representative of Hong Kong Chamber of Commerce in the mainland. And the question I would like to ask is, today our theme is about insights. And what's the insight and direction you both got from your meetings in Beijing that's going to benefit Hong Kong the most? Thank you.
It's hard to just have one insight to share, but I think the key is the reinsurance we have and how much care. You know, we're talking about every word in the government's report, Premier's report, is after so many rounds of polishing, after so many rounds of debate, discussion. But at the end of the day, we not only have sort of a disproportionate high number of NPCs from Hong Kong, but also disproportionate number of words that applies to Hong Kong. So I would say we should use our unique role under one country, two systems, make the most out of it, take proactive stance, look at leveraging of national strategies, regional strategies, RCEP, Belt and Road Initiative, and many others. But use technology, raise talents. Other things would be there are people, collecting big data, using smart data, using AI, and using traditional idea about how we can strengthen Hong Kong in so many different ways. I think technology is one. Good use of technology. There are some important areas of key industries that we would protect and keep, and not in an appropriate way, but to strengthen it, to solidify the advances we've made. But also we are looking at new industries where we will grow them, and be it low altitude, low flying economy, and more. I'll pass to Dr. Lee.
Yeah, I think I agree. I think Hong Kong has a unique role to play. I think every one of us sitting here also have a unique role to play. I think, like in response to your question, I think financial market, well, because of the situation, because of different policy incarnation, I think we Hong Kong financial market can serve differently, right? So that we can have a financial market that is, growth together with our country's economy. I think I will take it as an opportunity, actually.
Maybe can I suggest? Do we have a little souvenir? Yes. Please join me with a big applause to thank Dr. Starry LEE. So I think Hong Kong now is 6 pandas, right? And you can keep 2 at home. Yes.